talk.
We'll give you all you need to make the best of your day.
On the Break of Dawn, 32 FM 94.9.
Top of the morning to you. Welcome to the Break of Dawn newspaper review on 32 FM 94.9. Today is the first day in the month of February 2021. Welcome on board. This is where we get to take headlines from dailies, and then later on the show, we get to hear from our analysts, and you also have an opportunity to be a part of the show by dropping your headlines on phone numbers that would be reeled out when it's time. My name is GBEMISOLA. SOYEMI, welcome on board.
My name is DELE ADEYANJU. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. It's Thursday morning, as Gbemi said. Don't forget to join us live on YouTube this morning, 32FM 949 Ibadan, 32FM 949 Ibadan. You can use the opportunity of our social media handles to drop your headlines on the show this morning. As usual, I have 4 papers: The Punch, The Daily Post, The Independent, and Vanguard newspapers.
And I have with me Guardian newspaper, Premium Times, The Nation, and Daily Trust. All right, I'm taking headlines from the Guardian newspaper now. Ondo Court seals off Nigerian breweries over 169 million naira tax liabilities. Reps panel alleges theft of $20 billion crude oil in 7 years. Gbajabiamila urges dialogue to end Eda's natives crisis. Bayelsa tasks communities on security, condemn attack on NSCDC operatives. Court grants accelerated hearing to sacked Enugu Labour leader's case. Masob faults Northern government's plot to field Jonathan in 2023. All right, more headlines coming from Guardian. Ono denies alleged 400 million naira scam in NAPTA. IPOP flays Facebook for blocking Kano's account. Akwa Ibom government deploys communal clashes, destruction of lives and property. NBA to boycott Kebbi courts for 21 days, blame Yansakai. Also, EFCC gets court approval to arrest ExxonMobil MD. Again, DSS, NSCIA caution against violence. Regional autonomy solution to Nigeria's problems, says Agbakoba. Autumn bans government appointees from 2023 political campaigns. Akin Olugbade was a colossus, says Babalake. More headlines again. Okay, I took that earlier. Man sentenced to death by hanging for armed robbery. Police, bandits shootout leaves 3 dead in Katsina. And finally, Ono denies alleged 400 million naira scam in NAPTA.
Moving on to my first paper here, Punch newspaper. CAN wants DSS as agency restates plot on ethno-religious violence. CAN wants DSS as agency restates plot on ethno-religious violence. Liberals abduct Chinese expatriates, kill police aide in Osun. IPOB tackles Facebook for blocking Nnamdi Kanu. Reps query 5 billion naira import duty waiver to Chinese company. Afenifere, Pandev tackle NEF over alleged northerners killings. Sheikh Gumi visits Zamfara, bandits and forests appeals for peace. Igboho charges Nigerians to speak against killer herders. US-based Nigerian abducted by suspected herdsmen found dead. COVID-19 has affected fight against cancer, says expert. Ekiti 40-year-old woman arraigned for attempting to steal 3 children. 2 siblings die in Kano after consuming local herbs. Tension as Anambra monarchs undergo COVID-19 test. Edo plans revenue court to jack up IGR. And also, Kano clinic short for treating severe COVID-19 cases. Federal government approves Jim Ovia, Abacha, 18 private varsities. Police kill 3 invading bandits in Katsina. We arrested 3 miners, paid 2 billion compensation to landlords. Akwa Ibom. Rivers traders want curfew relaxed. Leadership tussle about indigenous flee to Benue. National Assembly should harmonize tenure of local government chairmen. Algon. EFCC quizzes ex-Governor Yari over alleged illegal transactions. Fight for the oppressed. Bishop tells Oyinlola. 3 sentenced to 38-year imprisonment for firearms possession in Ekiti. And COVID-19 vaccines. Kaduna Sterling Bank partner on drones delivery.
All right, I'm moving on to Premium Times now. Nigeria GDP projected to increase as government plans to rebase economy. All right, violence erupts at APC registration exercise in Kwara State. Ex-Governor Yari in fresh trouble, quizzed by EFCC. Nigeria records 1,634 new COVID-19 cases. There's an analysis on Burate, a legacy blotted by massacres, extrajudicial killings. That's from Premium Times as well. Finland begins trial of Sierra Leonean accused of war crimes in Liberia. Also, police comb Benin forest for killers of US-based Nigerian. That's coming from an official. NAPTI board chairman says not aware agency's DG unqualified. FEC approves 20 new private universities. And also, Kwara government moves back to Ile Arugbo site. Retirement, court asked to stop Adamu from functioning as IGP. 3 police officers die in a Ebonyi road accident. Police kill suspected bandits in attack on Katsina villages. Myanmar's ousted leader charged with illegally importing walkie-talkies. Man sentenced to death for armed robbery. Others crisis, Sunday Igboho attacks Tinubu, Oni, others. Others eviction, Ogun governor warns against violence. Those are headlines from Premium Times.
Daily Post next. Nigerian troops attack Boko Haram in Timbuktu war zone. Rescue captives. Herdsmen crisis. Please forgive me. Sunday Igboho begs Oni of Ife. Service chiefs why Buhari delayed by GBEMISOLA. Mama will be remembered for believing in national unity. APC governors, wake up to your responsibility. Can reacts to DSS security alert. Nigerians must talk. GBEMISOLA says after a chat with Buhari. School resumption. Ozigbo urges strict monitoring of pupils to avoid COVID-19 spread. Fani Kayode begs Oni of Ife to forgive Sunday Igboho. Osun Speaker frowns at non-implementation of financial autonomy. Shun political sentiments. Make or your interest your priority. Makinde tells politicians, residents, full list of 20 newly approved private universities in Nigeria. Ohaneze, OYC urges Obiozo to accept Elders Council position. And more headlines from the Daily Post. Buhari should let Oshibajo leave if he is not allowed to perform. Pastor Tunde Bakari. Again, Kwara government demolishes Saraki's property. Tony Momo, PDP mourn ex-minister of Information and Culture. COVID-19, Saudi bans flights from UK, US, 19 other countries. Out-of-school children, federal government commences alternate school program for 6.9 million children. COVID-19, Justice Bintan Yako tests positive. COVID-19, Ekiti government sensitizes residents on vaccination. Buhari reportedly directs IGP Adamu to hand over. Police reads riot act to transporters involved in criminal activities. NNPC Cooperative Society in court over leadership tussle. Buhari ministers observe minute silence for 2 late cabinet members. And finally, insecurity. Federal government advised to allow Nigerians carry licensed guns.
The Nation newspaper, APC registration, we are targeting 10 million Lagosians. Faleke gives 100 vehicles cash to constituents. Algon, local governments can't perform without financial autonomy. Disregard for protocol, NSITF director scale fence to evade arrest. OPC member killed as herders abduct farmer in Ondo. FEC occurs establishment of 20 private varsities. Abductors kill U.S. returnee in Edo after ransom. All right, more headlines from the Nation. No plan to field Jonathan in 2023, says APC. More from the politics scene. PDP Abga Bika over 2021 Guba election in Anambra State. Southwest PDP upturns chairman's suspension in Oyo. APC has deepened religious ethnic crisis, says Wike. Autumn bans appointees from campaigning ahead of 2023 elections. Kwara APC stakeholders meeting ends abruptly. All right, this is from the business scene. France funds Edo Youth Empowerment Project. And also FITC insists on agile plans for organizational growth. And finally, National Assembly frowns at abuse of waivers.
And quickly to independent newspaper, Gombe vows to tackle violence against women, children. Marwa moves to boost staff morale, reorganizes NDLEA. We welcome return of toll gates for security purpose. NURTW scribe. COVID-19, Elisha, residents shun use of face masks. And Iralepo of Ishika passes on after 43-year reign. Power shift to Africa. Durume, Wike pledges support for new NDDC sole administrator. Next president will spend tenure fixing rot created by Buhari. That's statement credited to Wike. Ongoing APC membership registration wasteful. Akode. Also, Sule Lamido lashes at APC governors asking Jonathan to contest for president. We pay herders 100,000 naira for every cow killed in clash with farmers. Ikpeazu. And employers shall change SME staff. Sean Group Life cover. Registration. Omagege urges Delta APC to open doors to all. UPU condoles with Okoa over father's demise. Those are some of the headlines we have from the independent newspaper.
And in Daily Trust, World Cancer Day, only 3 public radiotherapy centers in Nigeria. Northern Elders Forum, there are millions of Fulani living lawfully. These attacks must stop. Retirement, lawyer drags IGP Adamu to court. And also, no ethnic group should lord it over others. That's coming from Bajabia Mila. Police kill 3 bandits in Katsina State. 4 dead, 38 injured in Oyo Ogbomoso road crash. And also, hundreds of women protest herdsmen presence in Edo State. 2023 poll, we are not endorsing Jonathan. That's coming from APC. Justice Binta Yako tests positive for COVID-19. And finally, Melee as FCT task force disrupts NSITF promotion exams.
We go for our first break on the show this morning for some commercial messages. Stay with us, don't go away.
FM 94.9.
Honey, must you go?
Babe, you know I'm more.
Honey, must you go?
Babe, you know I'm more.
Honey, must you go?
Babe, you know I'm more.
Honey, must you go?
Babe, you know I'm more.
Honey, must you go? Hey, what if your battery runs out?
I've got my power bank.
Hey, and when your power bank runs out?
Babe, I've got my laptop.
Okay, wait. What if your data runs out?
Babe, you know we never run out of data.
Never run out of data with Airtel Home Broadband Unlimited Ultra plans. Enjoy unlimited data with no speed cap plus extra data daily, so you never have to worry about running out. Visit www.airtel.com.ng/HBB to get started.
Babe, but I just left the house.
Yes, honey. It's video calling all the way.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use Comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth they cause most tooth pains will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Charles!
Yes, mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hypo bleach for me.
Why 2?
Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them. But they are there. And that is why I trust only hypo bleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of Hypo Bleach.
God, don't you find that. When they talk about find out that remedy, they learn from where we did. Because to find it easy for me. I want that is what we say easy way for me. Now linking my NIN to my glow line. Don't tell me play. I feel just first now pick up my phone. Go use the USSD code by dialing *109 my NIN hash. Or quickly, I go just text my NIN to 109. I feel also visit glowworld.com/NIN on top my super fast internet. If I come the area where we say glow world near me, let's just work enter. And if you don't forget your NIN, dial *346 hash, you don't get them back. Some people there, they call the ask question. We don't call register for NIN. Don't worry yourself. Just work enter any nearest glow world. Don't let them disconnect you from all the amazing voice and data offers where they inside glow. Linking your NIN, they're safe and it's 100% free with zero wahala.
Glow, grandmasters of data.
32 FM
94.9.
Thank you so much for staying with us on the show this morning. It's Breakdown Newspaper Review on 32 FM 94.9, situated on the 4th floor, Keko House Building, Dugbe, Ibadan. My name is DELE ADEYANJU.
And I am GBEMISOLA SOYEMI.
We're joined in the studio this morning by our analyst, Dr. Olu Ojedokun of the Lead City University. Welcome, Doctor.
And of course, it's top of the day.
All right, we go straight into the stories. Don't forget you're live on YouTube. You can drop your headlines there. And we have the opportunity of opening up our phone lines when it's time before the end of the show for you to respond or react or drop your headlines to any of the stories we are looking at this morning. I'm taking my first story here, or maybe we'll start from you.
All right, this story is in The Guardian, and it says APC denies planning to field Goodluck Jonathan for 2023 presidential election. The All Progressives Congress has denied planning to field former President Goodluck Jonathan as its candidate in the 2023 presidential election. There were reports that the northern governors were planning to lure Jonathan to declare for the APC and consequently field him for the presidency in 2023. However, the party has refuted the speculation and declared that such arrangement was not on the table of the ruling party.
Well, interesting, curious turn of events. I thought that President Jonathan was a member of the PDP the last time I checked. But again, the way history goes around and turns around, Jonathan was much reviled at a point in time because people claim that he ran a corrupt government, and people claim that in terms of insecurity he didn't do too well. And now he's been hailed as someone to return to office and to come to power. In Nigeria, there's precedent for that because people have served before, either as military and have come back in civilian guise, as it were. But having said that, I think he's free to contest under any party that he feels. But I think the calculation of some people that is now the turn in quotation marks of the South. And so what you need is to get a formidable character, someone with experience, someone who at least can, as a sway, maybe not from the southeast necessarily, but at least someone who has links to the southeast. And I think that's the plan. But I think the focus, my view has always been the focus has to be on delivery and competence. We should discard all this, somebody comes from this area, somebody comes from that area, because it's not done us much good anyway. Let's produce the best from wherever it comes from, and let's get this country started, because we haven't started yet.
We thought Buhari was going to be the best.
Oh, yes, we thought. There are some of us who thought that the 1984, when he was there, that he actually did creditably well. We now discover that most of what he did there was because of Idiagbon. Yes, and of course, he was stripped of his clothes, stripped bare when there wasn't an Idiagbon, to support him. And so many people thought at least it would be a departure from Jonathan, better than Jonathan, have a grip on corruption and have a grip on security. And those two areas, the international indices, not my indices, but the international indices says Nigeria has dropped in terms of corruption rating, And then security, of course, if you look around, independent analysts will tell you that insecurity, maybe not as bad as our territory being captured under Jonathan, but in terms of spread, in terms of the area, there is no part of the country, you understand, that is spared insecurity.
Now, are we saying there is no corruption at this time or in this administration?
No.
Like we had it massive under Jonathan.
Oh, it certainly was massive under Jonathan. But what the international agency is saying is that corruption is actually getting worse under Buhari. I think the problem under Jonathan, a lot of people were at it. Some people are arguing that fewer people are at it in terms of Buhari's government. We'll give an instance. For instance, Obi is saying the 450 billion or thereabout to procure vaccines, that he can do it for 150 million. And the other things, there's one internet thing that they wanted to set up.
We're not going to have Omoibo vaccine there.
I hope not. I hope not.
Omoibo, Abba version vaccines.
I hope not. But having said that, there are instances where in procurement and other things, we just have outlandish figures. Or you have a budget item which has been repeated, you understand. For instance, how many times can you buy plates? Or how many times can you buy furniture? Every year you must change furniture, and they give outlandish prices. So the government is not doing well. The government is failing in those areas. It may yet turn the corner. It may yet prove us wrong. But as we speak now, the government seems to be failing. But yes.
If eventually Jonathan comes back, he must have learned a lot of lessons. He must have known how to deal with people very close to him, the cabals and all that.
We certainly hope so. We certainly hope so that he has experienced a lot. He has a lot of goodwill because he had the opportunity to hold on to power, to manipulate, and he decided not to. I think people will say that one of the first mistakes that Jonathan made was appointing that somebody who was independent to INEC, which means that his mind was clear. He wasn't going to manipulate it. So he would have learned some lessons, and he would only be there for 4 years. And so maybe he will be his own man, from that point of view. But having said that, has he got the backbone? Has he got the will? Has he got the vision? And is that the kind of person we need?
Are there no other candidates in this country aside the Tinubus, the Atikus, the Jonathan, recycling the old leaders?
There certainly are, but do they have the finances? Do they have the political backbone? Do they have the network? And that's the problem in Nigeria. A lot of people that are going for it are those people who have built a war chest, either legitimately or illegitimately. And you need money, you need logistics, you need network. And so the Mogaloos who probably would have been in the forefront, and so on and so forth.
That means we're going back to the idea of godfatherism.
Oh, yes. I don't ever think we've left the idea of godfatherism. It's still alive and kicking, unfortunately. And so our prayer will be a battle of ideas, but I'm not sure that it will be. Because even Oshibajo is a competent person, no matter what has happened to him under Buhari. But will he ever get a chance?
What happened to him under Buhari?
Well, he's been hobbled. Most of the time he's behind the computer screen, Apple computer screen.
He's supposed to be a spare tire, not the president. He's a vice president.
No, but still, when the president is not functioning, the vice president comes to the fore.
But the president has not said that he's not functional. He's going on leave. So Oshibajo should just stay in the corner and wait for when Mr. President will be indisposed.
Well, it's quite apparent that the president really is not functioning.
Well, that's in our minds as Nigerians. Well, Mr. President is alive and running and
okay. Legally, he is in office. Legally, he's in office, but really, he's not really there.
Pastor Tunde Bakari in the dailies today, in one of the stories from Daily Post, said Buhari should let Oshibajo leave if he's not allowed to perform. Is Oshibajo not free to resign if he feels that he's not doing well?
I think it's free to resign at any point in time, but I think Oshibajo probably is watching his back and front. That's all I would just say politically.
Maybe he was installed there in the first place by Asiwaju Tinubu.
Of course. So some will say the answers to Asiwaju. But I think really, how many people have ever resigned top office apart from Ubutu Kiwe? And not many people have the kind of backbone and spine as Ubutu Kiwe, who left the military government of Babangida, from that point of view. Oshibajo is not a politician. He's been in technocrat. I don't think he's been seeking political glory. And one would have expected that if he was a politician, maybe he would have maneuvered himself out. I think he's content to remain there for the remainder of the term. But it's quite clear that he's lame duck, and it's quite clear that it's not really serving any real purpose, being the vice president of the country.
All right, back to Jonathan and the APC and him being in the PDP and all of that. This idea of Nigerian political leaders coming back to office after someone else has served. You can't do 3 terms straight and then you pause for a while, and we've seen it happen. Now it happened with Buhari. He was, of course, even though he was just he was a military head of state, and then he came back as a civilian. This issue of Jonathan coming back once again, we've seen it happen. The idea of coming back now, does it give us any positive result, or is it always negative?
No, I think it tells us that we're stumbling around in the dark, and that we probably don't have credible alternatives. If we had, then we'll not be going back to Jonathan. and it shows you the paucity of
You
talent.
really think we don't have the alternatives we need?
Well, create alternatives that can be pushed forward that gain wide acceptability, because it's not enough to have an alternative which just controls his region in terms of political support. He has to have a wide spread of support, and there are very few people who are substantial. The only other person who is substantial but spends his time mostly abroad in Dubai, you understand, is Atiku, and some would argue that age may not necessarily be on his side. You know, even though he will point to Biden. Biden is 78. You know, and he will point to the fact that he will be almost around the same age then.
But Atiku is not looking old and is still very alert.
Well, rumors even added that he recently got married, you know, from that point of view.
Wow.
So, yes, he's looking alert. But in terms of ideas, some would say that he looks tired in terms of ideas, jagged in terms of ideas, and there's no viable alternative in terms of the slate that is presenting. So it's a difficult one. People would expect that it's the time of the youth, and that they will mobilize themselves, they will register, they will get PVCs. But it seems that it is only on Twitter, Instagram, and so on that we hear their noise.
If the youths are coming on board, then they should take over the House of the
Yes,
Parliaments, the House of
precisely.
Reps, the House of Assemblies, and they should start from there.
Yeah, I agree that they should start from them, they should mobilize themselves. But we're not even seeing, you understand, their footprints yet. Most of them are thinking of going to Canada, to US, and UK. Rather than actually building viable political structures, people feel that there was a conspiracy against the Nigerian youths. People were maimed, people were killed, and people disappeared. And yet, the narrative of the Nigerian government, some would say, was that nothing happened. And I think a lot of you have said, well, if nothing happened, then that means we are not worth anything. And therefore, exit strategy, which unfortunately I think is an act of cowardice, but exit strategy is what the Nigerian youths are exploring.
Do you see any NSAS protests coming anytime soon? Again?
Well, the government is certainly doing everything to curtail things like that. I think that if the situation is not carefully managed, that there could yet be some NSAS of some sort, you know, from the youth, because you cannot keep the vast majority of Nigerians on their lead if you don't provide their basic needs. I think the government needs to be careful, the government needs to be responsive, and the government needs to find a way to curtail or rather to harness time.
Insinuations here, insinuations there, rumors here and there from the presidency. We have another one here. Buhari reportedly directs IGP Adamu to hand over. And Mr. President reportedly asked the IGP Adamu to hand over, according to the Nation. Why can't we have details?
Well, isn't this the job of Gabashew and Femi Adesina? They're failing in their task if they cannot give us absolute clarity. But what I would tell you is disappointing, is that an IGP will get to the end of his term and would not know the right thing to do. The right thing to do without being told when you get to the end of your term is you pack your baggages, you pack your load, you pack everything, and you leave.
So you don't necessarily need to wait for the president to say it is time for you to leave.
No, it's the end of your term, you leave. It's just like what Trump was trying to do, but that's in a different realm. You get to the end of your term, you leave. But if there's a letter giving you special dispensation that comes to you, that's a different matter entirely. There's no evidence that that has happened. He's got to the end of his term and he's still parading himself as the Inspector General of Police. According to the law, it's wrong. According to the law, except you understand there's something that's been changed in the meantime. So I think it's rather unfortunate, that he didn't do that and he allowed Mr. President to ask him to hand over. He should have done that.
Should the appointment of another IGP, shouldn't it have been done
even before the expiration of
the tenure?
That's what I'm telling you. That when I say it and you suggest there might not be evidence, is that there doesn't appear to be anybody at the center driving things. Normally, if the president was driving things forward, then all these things would be a matter of routine. You understand? Not the song and dance. But every appointment takes so long. You understand? Every decision is lingers. You understand? Which suggests to you that all is not well at the center. It should be automatic, seamless. You understand? They knew the date of his retirement, 1st of February, 2021. They knew. So it didn't catch them unaware. So why
a source said the IGP has been asked by the president to hand over. Adamu was waiting for the presidential directive. He would have left on Monday, but it would be discourteous to have exited without a clear-cut directive from the president and commander-in-chief. Don't you agree with this?
I don't buy that. I really don't buy it because your term has
it's like walking away from your principal, like...
let it come from here.
Every employment, you understand, every engagement, you understand, has a beginning and an end. And especially when it comes to daily employment, there's a contract which covers it. The contract which covers employment is subject to law, not just contract, subject to law. That after 35 years, you understand, you go into retirement. Everything is quite obvious, you understand. So I think to suggest that courtesy, it's not courtesy. I think it's discourteous to force the commander-in-chief to issue a letter to tell you to be on your way. I think if he had much more, in my view, much more pride and dignity, he would have gone even before Mr. President instructed otherwise.
Okay, there must be no vacuum in leadership anyway. So we'll go for another break right now. We come back in the next 3 minutes. Stay with us, don't go away.
Guy, what's in the make you scatter house like this?
I beg, you help me see my Airtel SIM.
I carry and give Sade yesterday. But you know they use him again now.
Yay! You don't carry my bonus give landlord picking. Now today you go pack out.
On top Airtel SIM?
Yes, so if you don't reach 15 days where you never use your Airtel SIM, go find them now. Because why? Obonga will full on top of. Hey, get 2,000 naira airtime plus extra 200 MB for just 200 naira. The more you recharge, the more you are woofo. To begin enjoy this awoof, just dial *241*7#. Terms and conditions, Joe.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Charles!
Yes, mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hypo bleach for me.
Why 2?
Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them. But they are there. And that is why I trust only hypo bleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of hypo bleach.
Breakfast your day every day with the nourishment of malt, milk and cocoa and the delicious taste of Milo.
Nestle, good food, good life.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use Comfort?
No, dear. Now, hole for teeth they cause most tooth pain will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Guy, how far now? If you see this game, in fact, go to channel 203 now. Wait, let me check. But I can't view the channel. Really? You haven't heard of Step Up? Now I'm watching live sports action from the biggest leagues since I upgraded my DSTV subscription. And I got the next higher package.
That's right. Step up to the next level. If you're on the younger package and upgrade to Confirm, you will get the next higher package. DSTV Compact, worth 7,900 naira to enjoy all the live matches. Offer available for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
For ShopRite, you go fit find everything when you want to plus more. Buy 24th Martina drink for 3,299 naira 99 kobo and chicken twin pack for 1,599 naira 99 kobo. You fit buy your recharge card for any of our T-points inside our shop. Don't forget if you check our website www.shoprite.com.ng for more to read. All this price will last till February 7, 2021. ShopRite, tertiary price when you fit trust all the time.
32 FM
94.9.
Still 32 FM 94.9. The program is Breakdown Newspaper Review. Yes, we'll move on. Gbemi.
All right, I'm taking the story. This is in the Guardian newspaper, and it's talking about the farmers elders crisis as well. Okay, this one says group give herdsmen 14 days to quit Edo forests over killing. A group and Talakawa Parliament and Ohion stakeholders yesterday issued a 2-week ultimatum to killer herders to quit forest and farm settlements in Edo State to enable farmers and women gain access to their farms without fear and threat to their lives. The same thing that happened in Oyo State happening in Edo State as well.
And I think it's happening in many other areas which are unreported. I think that's a crisis, and part of the crisis I would say is existential, in the sense that the Fulani, we've not catered, we've not anticipated the fact that having a group of herders going all around the country without any ranches, without any place to graze, and to have open herding was always going to be a disaster. Open herding means that you can go anywhere. You can go the streets and do that. And of course, in a free, open, modern society, it cannot be countenanced. Botswana, you understand, which we will look down on, they have ranches all over the place. Even places like Ghana and other places in the world, they have ranches. So why can't we have ranches? And if the government is so concerned, why can't the government lease some land or enter into some arrangement with private owners, you understand? So the land is leased. Because what is happening is they're occupying people's farms, they're destroying crops, you understand? They're affecting food security. And some of them are cloaking and covering criminals in their midst. We are not suggesting that every herder is a criminal. What we are saying is that under the guise of herding, some criminals, you understand, have taken refuge and are using that to perpetrate lucrative criminality, which includes raping, kidnapping, pillaging, and so on and so forth. So, of course, I expect that more states will do what Edo is doing. You understand, and where many of these reserves will be closed down. I mean, when I mean reserves, where the Fulanis are. It's unfortunate, really, because what it then means, you understand, is that these people will go to other communities and there will be trouble there. So the government has to intervene. The state government, of course, and the federal government, they must find a solution. And these people must understand that you can't just go to anybody's land. It's not like, the 14th, 15th, 16th century. There is proper land ownership, you understand? And if they want to graze, they must find a way to come to an arrangement with the landowners, with the farmers, from that point, and pay some good economic, whatever to the owners of those lands.
All right, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, is calling for a meeting of minds. He's calling for dialogue to, end this crisis. I think people at this point feel like if you can't talk to them and they would respond, then we can go ahead to issue ultimatum, which we see that happened. It happened in Oyo State, Edo State, and some other states. Now, the Speaker is calling for a meeting of minds. He said it is better we sit down and talk one-on-one so that we can find a solution to this crisis.
Yes, let's hope Mayete Allah is ready to talk, because Mayete Allah seems to be the representative of many of the others. I think it's better to judge rather than war. So, of course, I support what Gbajabiamila said. Gbajabiamila. But having said that, what proposal does the government have? What legislation are they putting forward? So it's not just about talking at the end of the day. We want action, because people are dying. People are being slaughtered. Farms are being overrun on a daily basis. So it's not just talk, because we can talk to infinity. What action are they proposing as legislatures? What advice are they giving to the government? Gbajabiamila met with Buhari, you understand? So what was the solution? What was the outcome? I just feel this photo ops, you understand, going there and visiting Aso Rock and so on and so forth, without coming out with communiques, you understand, something solid, some action point.
And then we hear a source said this was what was discussed.
Yes, and it's not good enough. Serious meetings. After serious meetings, you normally have communique. In Nigeria, that has been removed from our lexicon. Or you just have photo ops, they go and show President Buhari some pictures, you understand this, their smiles, their backslapping, and that's the end of it. It shouldn't be that. There should be some action points which come out from it. And where is the National Council of States in all this? The National Council of States, consisting of all state governors, former president, Chief Justice of the Federation, usually because of the wealth of experience, are supposed to support the president, give president advice on how to proceed. But it hasn't been summoned for over 2 years. So that's why I say, in terms of governance, you understand, there's a lacuna somewhere, and something needs to be done quite soon.
I was invited. We didn't invite Igbo Ogun government. So who invited Sunday Igbo to Ogun State?
Well, the voice of the people is the voice of God. Some would say is that the people invited him, and the people of Ogun State, or maybe it's some faction within the Ogun State government. But certainly, it was invited by some people, and that's why I went there, because it could have gone to Kajola, but he went there first. Having said that, I think rather than concentrate on those niceties, let's concentrate on what solution is Sunday Igbo taking there to there and bringing forth from there.
Yesterday there was a report. I started actually seeing something on Facebook like, "This is too much from you, Igbo," backlashing on using those very rude on your Fife and using those very rude words. But as at this morning, I saw reports from him apologizing and begging the Oni of Fife. He actually backlashed a lot of other people, but I think he used very strong words on the Oni of Fife.
I think that was unfortunate, but I think the man is angry. But again, I also think that he's probably overestimating his importance because he's become a folk hero to many people. Having said that, I think also it tells you that people like the Oni and indeed traditional rulers are accountable to the people. They also have to watch their steps.
Oni went to President Buhari too, and as you said, there was no communique.
No, no communique. So what are you doing there? I mean, all these trips, you understand, from that point of view. We passed autograph seeking, go seeking autographs and taking pictures.
Closed-door meetings.
Yeah, well, we can have closed-door meetings, but let's have communiques. Let's have the results. But what we're getting are pictures here and there. I mean, a lot of our computer storage is filled with pictures of meetings, but no results. And I think Nigerians want results, and I think that's the point.
Yes, do you agree that Nigerians should be allowed to carry licensed guns in this picture? And with the state of insecurity staring at us in the face?
That's a difficult one because the thing about violence is that violence, well, first and foremost, there's a monopoly of violence in Nigeria. The state has the monopoly of violence, and criminals have a monopoly of violence. And the common man, the innocent man, doesn't have access to guns. And so the suggestion is that if you can vouch for people's integrity, vouch for people's bona fide, then you should allow them to carry guns. I think in some limited sort of way, it won't be wrong to allow a few people to carry guns, you understand? But it has to be seriously regulated. It has to be, the licensing regime has to be strong and has to be stringent, because there's so much arms in the arms of all kinds of criminals, So I think the cow or the dog has already bolted or whatever it is. Therefore, I think, yes, there should be some limited but very stringent
The guns in the hands of some hoodlums and some herders and all that, are they licensed guns? Definitely not.
No, they're not. So that's what I'm trying to say, that if those guns are in the hands of those people who are determined, to wreak havoc, to kidnap, to maim, then if you can have responsible citizens, their credibility has been vouched for, you understand, you have a stringent licensing regime, then there's no reason why select people shouldn't be allowed, to own licensed firearms, and that will act as a counter balance to many of these guns being held by criminals out there.
But then how do we get to retrieve these ones that are not licensed in the hands of the hoodlums?
Well, there are two ways. I think, there's one way you certainly can do it. Is that you can certainly offer amnesty, which means that people give a window of time to return those guns without any prosecution.
That has been in play for a while now.
Well, but you see, you have to renew these things. It's been in place, yes, over the years, but it's never been renewed. You have to announce, you have to renew, and you have to give incentive. And sometimes you even have to give money to say, okay, you get this money in exchange for that. Some people may say, oh, no, you're rewarding criminality. But what alternative do we have most of the time? So sometimes you might have to give some incentive to make people come forward so that these guns can come back, you understand, into the armory rather than be out there.
Yes, when we come back, we open the phone lines for you to call. The numbers to call 0809 7949, 0809 7949, or 0906 2949, 0906 2949. We go for a break.
Honey, must you go?
Babe, you know I must. Besides, you can always video call me.
Hey, what if your battery runs out?
I've got my power bank.
Hey, and when your power bank runs out?
Babe, I've got my laptop.
Okay, wait. What if your data runs out?
Babe, you know we never run out of data.
Never run out of data with Airtel Home Broadband Unlimited Ultra plans. Enjoy unlimited data with no speed cap plus extra data daily, so you never have to worry about running out. Visit www.airtel.com.ng/HBB to get started.
Babe, but I just left the house.
Yes, honey. It's video calling all the way.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Uncle Dante, Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shay, they use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Now, hole for teeth they cause most tooth pain will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
tí wọ́n bá lo ráyéwá nítorí pé o lówó lọ́wọ́ tí wọ́n bá ń tàn ọ́ pọ̀ ráyéwá nítorí dúkìá tó pọ̀ tó ní ọkàn ò tí ì balẹ̀ pọ̀ ráyéwá àlàáfíà lògùn ọrọ̀ ṣáájú ara rẹ o ìlera sílẹ̀ mí gígùn gbogbo àrùn tí ń ṣe ẹ̀dá láyé náà kọ́ láyé fi ń ṣe ni bí dọ̀tí bá pọ̀ lára tí gbogbo ẹ́ńjìnì tásẹ̀dá dá bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tó kọsẹ́ má fòyà tó bá ṣe bí ẹni rárá tára rẹ ò ṣe déédéé pinnu lóòkàn àyà ara rẹ o Benetton cleanser ní kò sẹ́mu agbanugbade fọgẹ̀dẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ ara dànù Benetton jagunlabi pankopi ọ̀rẹ́ ara tọmọdé tàgbà tọkùnrin tóbìnrin ló lè lò ọ̀sọ́kùnrin sóbìnrin dò pépé Benetton cleanser atẹ́jẹsẹ̀ maradan bíi kóròsìn Benetton cleanser kìkìdé gbòógì tí ò lọ́tínú la fi ṣe ó ti wà káàkiri ilé ìtajà ògùn jákèjádò ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà a sì ń wá alágbàtà fún Benetton cleanser pé nọ́mbà kò demand 08034051533 08034051533 iléeṣẹ́ ẹ̀mí one naturalist care ló ṣe Benetton cleanser òun láyé tún lò.
Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ nípasẹ̀ ìròyìn BBC ní Yorùbá nítorí kí o tó lè tayọ o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n ní ìmísí pẹ̀lú àwọn oríṣiríṣi ìròyìn láti ibi àti káàkiri àgbáyé nígbà tí o bá ní ìmọ̀ nípa ohun tó ń lọ ní àgbáyé o lè ṣe ohunkóhun mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ wá BBC News Yorùbá kàn.
She offended Donna.
Mommy, what is it? Why are you crying?
Ejiro, people heartless so. See what they do, Anita.
Mama, who is Anita?
My dear, just leave Mama. Oh, she's in a world of her own with this movie she's watching on Airtel TV. You too can get special streaming 500 MB data for just 100 Naira to stream movies, series, music videos, and more. The best part is, you don't have to use your main data. Just dial *141 *106# now.
Hey, Mama, Anita don't see better man Mario. Just look at God.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Yeah, the time coming up to 11 minutes before 7 o'clock. You open the phone lines right now, 0809 7949, 0809 7949, or 0906 2949. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, the issue of cattle area in this country will continue to be escalating until the federal government quickly coming to this matter. Because there is no state can be sit down, look, and allow one particular ethnic group to be continue killing people, raping and destroy the innocent property. Thank you. This is Omar Bashar.
All right, thank you, Omar Bashar, for your contribution. 0906 200949, 0809 7949. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning to you, sir.
I'm Falodun calling from Kopa Yodudu. Briefly on what the Right Honorable Speaker has just said, I mean, Honorable Miller, I think we don't need to sit down again. We have had so many discussions. Yes, comfort is there. The waste is there. So many discussions that we have spent billions of naira on coming to sit down. What is the essence of sitting down that right action? See, most of these results are, yes, have been good thing by the power that be. Let us go back to our archive and go and bring it up. Then on the issue of the northern that saying that all Fulanis are not criminals, I think I have to agree with what they said. All Fulanis are not criminals. Yes, some criminals are hiding under Fulani, and that's some area, which I disagree with Sunday Igboho, frankly speaking. Sunday Igboho has a very good intention. Yes, he's fighting for people, but he should try to distinguish between criminal and genuine Fulani. So because I don't want a situation where you solve one problem and you create three problems for the whole country again. So I think you should try to look at that gray area. All criminal in the Southwest, vacate Southwest. It's no longer suitable for you to live in Southwest again. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you for your contribution. Hello, good morning. Please, if you're calling, make sure you have the volume of your radio set turned down. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. All right, 09062000949 or 0809700949. You can also send a text message or drop a comment on YouTube. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is Dr. Mark. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I need to say something about the newly approved 20 private universities. You see, I have this opinion. If we look at the educational sector in this country, at a tertiary level, it's not different from glorified secondary school. And I don't know what NUC is doing by just approving just universities at the private level. When you enter there, my brother, my sister, it's not different from the secondary school. When we talk about higher institution, tertiary place of learning, there should be what is called facilities in place to give students internationally approved standard of learning. If I have a lawyer from Nigeria that cannot compete with an average lawyer anywhere in the world, then what is the essence of that kind of education? We just don't want to chunk students out. I have a lot of private university graduates that come to us for employment. There was a particular one that the letter he wrote, I asked him again, is this? In fact, we couldn't even listen to him. I want NUC to be genuine because we have a nation called Nigeria we are trying to grow. If we are trying to approve institutions, let us do the right thing. Check facilities in place. If I have a chemical engineering department and there are no 16 machines, facilities in place to take students through the thermodynamics, the field bed, all 16 unit operations that a chemical engineering department should have, you have no reason approving such department in that institution.
All right, Dr. Mark.
Hold on, please. It's not just about the money. So I can't stand here. We have more than enough institutions already in this country, and we're just chunking out graduates without any impact in their life. So that's just my take this morning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just to sort of respond to that impassioned contribution. First and foremost, I think the university education is not limited in terms of standard to just private. We also have people from federal state universities where the standard is much to be desired. Secondly, I think we should be very careful when we bunch universities all together. There's some private institutions with the facilities. And again, some would suggest that the federal government is responding to demand. They're trying to balance. If you look at most of the universities are in the north, they're trying to balance the fact that most of the north hasn't got private universities and that there's a demand. And I think all this desire to have private universities is really fueled by people, you understand, who want some university they can send theirs to. Having said that, we cannot do it. We cannot sacrifice it on an altar of quality, because it will tell on us when we go for masters, when we go for research. So I buy some of his points, but I'll just say we need to be very careful in just one broad sweep.
All right. Hello. Okay. We lost that already. Let's take this one. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, DELE. Good morning. Dr. Jodofugu and GBEMISOLA, this is okay.
All right.
Good morning. Okay, welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing I want to talk about is I think we should be careful when we generalize that all Fulanis. But what I want to now stress on is that yesterday I think somebody talked about giving lands to them. First, Dr. Jodofugu, I think it should be pointed out first that this is a private business. If we start with this, the poultry farmers would also come in to demand for land. We should be very careful about this. We have we have the BOI, we have the agri schemes and other things. I think what the proper need is a proper orientation. We need to call some of them. Let me use that word. People that can penetrate them. Gather yourself as a group. Seek for loan to get land. We always say these are all over the world. The thing to go now is ranching. We need to ask the first question. How come and why are they not interested in this ranching? Why are they demanding that it has to be a federal government thing when they themselves know they have to pay tax over this issue? This is a private business. Please, we need to ask, why are they refusing ranching? That's the question. Good morning.
Let's be very clear that what we are advocating here and what I've advocated is leasing of land. And to lease land, which means they have to pay. So we're not asking for freebies all over the place. Land provided, but they will lease it, they will pay. Or they enter into private agreements with landowners, you understand? Where there's fallow land, they can graze on it, but there's an agreement, there's a contract. So,
All right.
So you can still call those studio lines 0809 7949 or 0906 200949. You can still take maybe two more calls before we wrap up.
We go.
Yes.
All right, before we take more calls, I have this message. Very good morning to you all there. I just want to advise that Goodluck Jonathan should try to avoid being a political prostitute and also not to be the bait that hides the hook. And he should remember how he left that office and turn it as a proverb over his life if he wants to leave. There are millions of people untried in Nigeria. Achibiri FN, thank you for that as well. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you. It's Mr. Bolaji from Akubo. I doubt it if APC will present Goodluck Jonathan. Those 10 governors that went to Daura, they have already presented their own candidate to the president, and it's from the southeast. And those who did not go are in support of somebody from southwest. So Jonathan is out of the way. They have presented their own candidate, and I'm quite sure any of the two can be selected. Good morning, thank you.
Good morning. This message just says APC governors plan to sponsor Jonathan's candidature for 2023 is an acknowledgement of Buhari's woeful failure. That's coming from Prince Doyin Kasali from Agoiwi. All right, thank you for that headline as well. Sir, how many good news did you find in the headlines today? The APC rigged-in regime is a disaster to our nation. May God rescue Nigeria by fire, by force. Thank you very much, Sam. Let's take this last call before we go. Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is John calling from Ibadan.
All right, John.
APC should not only feed Jonathan. Let them go and bring Obasanjo and feed him. Maybe after Obasanjo, then Buhari will come back. Because we don't have other people that can lead us. See where they have lead us to. Dying every day, killing every day, shedding blood every day as if it's a normal thing. Thank you. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you for your contribution. Those are all the calls we can take. Thank you very much for joining us. For all those who listened, those who called, those who sent in their text messages, and those who dropped one or two things on YouTube as well. We return tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. all the way till 7 a.m. for the Friday edition of the Break of Dawn newspaper
Thank you for
review.
calling Dr. Oluojedoku.
And thank you.
See you again next week.
My name is GBEMISOLA. SOYEMI.
My name is DELE ADEYANJU. Good morning.